Welcome into Wyatt Zang's college football show, and man, we have a jam-packed show. The season predictions are here. It is time to predict who is going to win each of the Power 4 conferences. It is time to put them into a playoff. I'm going to go 1 through 4. We're going to predict the entire college football playoff bracket in this episode. I'm also going to pick a Heisman winner. I'm going to pick who is going to win the Heisman in 2026. We're going to do all that in today's show. Make sure you are subscribed. Let's dive right into it. All right, to get things started off, I wanted to start with the SEC. Let's break down the SEC. Who is going to win the SEC conference in 2026? We're going to break it down. I'm going to talk about a few teams here, a few different criterias of some certain teams that are going to be in the criterias. I'm also going to be picking a conference championship game and crowning a SEC champion in this video. So if you don't want to know who's going to win the SEC, just don't watch the video. But if you want to know the future, go ahead and tune in. Starting off with some teams I think could be a little frisky. Some teams I think could be sneaky in 2026. I'm going to start with Florida. Florida's a team in the SEC that could be sneaky. I'm not saying that they're in the conference championship picture. I'm not saying that they're going to win it or even be there. But I think they're a team that could be a little bit more frisky and sneaky than people think. The only thing that really scares me, and I say only, the biggest thing that scares me with Florida is we're questioning their O-line and there's a brand new quarterback. If Tramel Jones starts, that is the first time he's going to start a season as a quarterback, and we don't have the right offensive line. We have questions around our offensive line. So that would scare me when it comes to Florida. There's a lot of new pieces with John Summerall coming in, and as I said, a new quarterback. But when in doubt, Florida, at the end of the season, I think they're going to be a solid team, but I just don't think they're going to be a conference championship caliber team. Next is Auburn. Auburn's another team that I think could be kind of sneaky. When you talk about Byron Brown at quarterback, absolutely. Absolutely. I would take Byron Brown, just his ability. I'm not underestimating it. We saw what he did at USF. And he has now Auburn, who has better athletes, 4 and 5 stars, who is in the SEC, which is a tougher conference. But Byron Brown, don't count him out. I'm not saying he's going to win the SEC at Auburn, but don't count him out. Don't count Auburn out, that is for sure. Alex Golesh in year 1. There's a little bit of a talent gap when you think about Auburn compared to other schools, so that's why they're only in the sneaky category. We got a few more teams in this category. Tennessee, I just don't think that they're, a playoff team. I don't see them as a championship caliber team. There's a young quarterback similar to Florida, but I don't have the questions I have with Florida's quarterback battle as I do with Tennessee. No matter who wins Tennessee's quarterback battle, that is the first time they will step onto a football field as a starter. The first time. If Aaron Philo wins the job at Georgia Tech, he's got plenty of experience, maybe not as a consistent starter. Tramel Jones has a little bit of experience. Tennessee doesn't have any experience at the quarterback position. I think this is going to be a gap year for Tennessee. Now, they have a good defense, and they have Jim Knowles coming in, but I think it's going to be a bit of a gap year, a bit of a rebuild year, I guess you could say, for Tennessee. So that's why I have them here. Missouri is a team that could be a little sneaky as well. Don't count out Missouri. I know they lost Bo Pribula, and everyone's like, oh, lost their quarterback. What's next? Guys, he brought in Austin Simmons. Don't forget about that. Austin Simmons was the guy that Lane Kiffin wanted to be the quarterback at Ole Miss last year. He got injured, and Trinidad Chambliss and all that stuff happened. But don't forget about Austin Simmons. Austin Simmons is a really freaking good quarterback. Don't forget about him. Please, do not forget about him. They have, not quite the amount of talent all around that would create a championship team. So that's why, I have more questions around Missouri than I would the fringe or playoff caliber teams that we're going to talk about. Lastly, South Carolina. Lenore Sellers, Nick Harbor, Dylan Stewart, all this talent at South Carolina. This is one word that I'm questioning, and I don't know if they have it. This is one word: consistency. Does South Carolina have the consistency to go and win the SEC or compete for the SEC? I don't think they have the consistency to win the playoff, And I am a huge South Carolina guy. I had South Carolina, as much as I hate to say this, and I don't want to ever talk about this again. This is the last time I'm going to mention this. I had Lenore Sellers winning the Heisman in South Carolina, making the SEC championship game last year. I know how outlandish that is, but that's the confidence I had in South Carolina. I don't see it this year. I'm not seeing that. I need to see it with South Carolina before I can buy in. So those are some of the sneaky teams. Now I want to touch on the fringe teams. The teams I think could be playoff teams, but are just not quite there for me. Alabama. Alabama is a team that I think 100% at the end of the year, you could look and be like, wow, Alabama made the college football playoff. And it wouldn't shock me. It also wouldn't shock me if you came back from the future, from January, and said Alabama missed the college football playoff and went 9-3. Either way, I am not shocked. So with Alabama, you have a new quarterback, a new young quarterback. Now, if you play Austin Mack, he's got a little bit more experience, but for my money, Keon Russell's going to start. You got a new young quarterback. You got a wide receiver room that's really good. You got Ryan Williams, Watsier Brooks. It's a really good receiver room. Maybe not a ton of depth, but you got a good top-end talent. Halfback room is lackluster. This is where I think it brings it down. I'm not high on this running back room at all. I don't see a clear-cut guy that's a 1,000-yard rusher or even like an 800-yard rusher. I don't see that here. So that's a big question. And there's some questions around their offensive line as well. Like, I'm not full in on the offensive line at Alabama. So that's Alabama. LSU. LSU is another team that I think is going to be controversial. But hear me out. The reason I have LSU not as quite playoff caliber team is because there's 40 new transfers. I understand that Lane Kiffin has been there and done that. He's done it at LSU or at Ole Miss, maybe not 40, but 30. He's done it at places he's been, and I'm not questioning his ability. Like if you give a chef a new kitchen with better tools, automatically he's just going to do better. But if you give a drug addict more drugs, it's going to get much worse. So it's like, where are we at here? Like, are we giving a chef better tools in the kitchen, which is going to always result in a better, product, or are we giving a drug addict more drugs, which is always going to result in it just becoming worse? And then, you know how that goes. So that's my question around LSU and Lane Kiffin. Like, I just don't know what we're going to get. There's a lot of top-end talent, but there's not a lot of depth. There's a lot of, new. Like, it's a little too new for me to be a 100%. But, hey, I could be wrong. It's another thing. I wouldn't be shocked if they made the playoff. All right, now I wanted to get to the playoff caliber teams. I got 3 teams that are playoff caliber, and then I'm going to give you my conference championship game prediction. We'll pick a winner. My playoff caliber teams. I think Oklahoma is sitting here as a playoff caliber team. Oklahoma's a team where you look at them and you say, how does that not work? John Mateer is just getting better. The wide receiver room with Isaiah Sategna is just getting more elite. The defensive line with David Stone, I'm loving the defensive line, by the way. Linebackers look solid. DBs look solid. It's a Brent Venable-led defense, so it doesn't really matter what's on the defense. It's just the guy that's behind the steering wheel. It doesn't really matter what's in the engine, what's in the car. But, if you put William Byron behind the wheel, he's going to make something happen. Like, take an old Honda, throw William Byron behind the wheel. He's gonna do something. Like, he's gonna win in the street race. Like, he's just that good. It doesn't matter what's in the car, he's gonna win. That's how I feel about Brent Venables in Oklahoma. You don't always have to have the best defense in terms of talent, but he is going to put a good product on the field. And if you add a offense with John Mateer and a really good wide receiver room, and I don't believe that their running back room is going to be bad at all with the new coaches they brought in to lead that room, I don't believe that's going to be there at all. And Ben Arbuckle is back to lead the offense. I don't believe that they're going to be bad. So Oklahoma is definitely a playoff team. Ole Miss, just talked about them. With Lane Kiffin basically, but with Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss. Do I need to say anything else? If I do, Kawan Lacey. I know those are only offensive players, but their offense is elite enough to get them to the playoff. I don't have any questions about whether their offense can do it in 2026. I got 0 questions about that. 0, nada, none. Now, their defense is a different question. There's maybe not as much of an elite. I still think the defense is really good, but is it the caliber to win the SEC championship? I don't think so. There is new leadership. We don't know what a Pete Golding-led team is like starting from scratch. So we'll be interested to see what happens there. There is a little chip on their shoulder, so I think that's going to help them a lot. Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a playoff caliber team by just every single person's opinion. Texas A&M's got to be a playoff caliber team. Marcel Reed is back, and I think he's only going to get better. We saw flashes last year of what Marcel Reed could be at a consistent level. If we get that consistency, I think Marcel Reed is going to be a phenomenal quarterback which can lead A&M with a new offensive line, which I think is an improved offensive line, to the college football playoff. The wide receiver room is loaded with Isaiah Horton, Mario Craver. You're looking at, like I said, a great offensive line. The linebacker room is a little weak, but that's one position room. That's one position room. So for me, in the SEC, we got our playoff caliber teams, our sneaky teams, and our fringe teams. What are our what's our championship game looking like? Who we got winning this thing? My SEC championship game, I have Georgia taking on the Texas Longhorns. Who is going to win this matchup? Well, for Georgia, the reason I have Georgia here is Gunnar Stockton's going to get better. Contrary to what other people say, he's going to get better. I only see this going up for Gunnar Stockton in Georgia. It's literally I wrote down "it's Georgia" on this piece of paper because it's Georgia. It's Kirby Smart. They are going to produce a good production on television. It's going to be a good product. They're going to always produce on the field. So it's Georgia. They are literally the top dog. No pun intended. They are the top dog in the SEC. For Texas, Texas needs it. Texas legit needs this more than anybody in the SEC. Can Arch Manning fulfill his expectations? That's a question I have. If he could do that, Texas will be here, man. Texas will be here. We'll figure it all out week 2 versus Ohio State. That'll tell us all we need to know about Texas. So Georgia versus Texas. Who do I have winning the SEC championship and moving on to the playoff to get a first round bye? I have, drum roll please, the Georgia Bulldogs winning the SEC and going to the college football playoff to get a bye. It is Georgia. How do you not pick Georgia to win the SEC? I get it. Texas has a ton of talent. I get it. Arch Manning and the running back room, the receiver room, the defense, Steve Sarkisian. I get all that. But it's Georgia. Georgia has run this conference for the last 5 to 6 years. I don't expect it to be any different. I don't expect it to be any different at all. And Texas, does Texas have a Georgia problem? I don't know. We're going to find out. But I think Georgia wins the SEC. So that is my full SEC conference prediction. Let me know down below if you guys agreed with that or if you disagreed with that. Next, Big Ten. What are my Big Ten conference predictions? Starting off in the sneaky category. So we've got sneaky, fringe, playoff caliber, and then we'll championship game prediction. Starting off in the sneaky category, I got Washington in there. Washington is a sneaky, frisky team. Damon Williams is there. Jed Fish is there. Those are 2 guys, a head coach quarterback combo that I think have what it takes to build this into a 8-win team. So I think Washington could play spoiler for some teams, could definitely be a team that you look at them on your calendar and you say, that's going to be a tough game. It's going to be tough out. So Damon Williams I also think is going to be very improved. Nebraska, got Nebraska on here. Anthony Colandrea, in my opinion, is going to be way better than people think. I love Anthony Colandrea, especially heading into the season, and I think he's only going to be getting better. Matt Roll is under a ton of pressure and kind of has to produce. And I think that Nebraska will be a sneaky team. UCLA. I am on the Bob Chesney, Nico Iamaleava USC hype train. All aboard, I am on it. I am not getting off, and I am not apologizing for it. I love UCLA and what they can do in 2026. I am all in. I hate to say it, I'm not saying they're going to make the conference championship game. I don't even have them in the fringe category of making the playoff. I don't think they're going to make the playoff. I'd be lucky if they're a top 25 team. But UCLA is going to be a team that if you let your guard down when you play them, It's going to be a tough night for you, or a tough morning or day. It's going to be tough. So UCLA, I am all in. Iowa. I mean, I wrote down one thing for Iowa, and I literally on this piece of paper, I'm going to cover up my prediction here. On this piece of paper, I wrote, you're going to see it's blurry, but I wrote, it's Iowa. It's Iowa. What else do you need to know? It's Iowa. They're always going to be a sneaky team. Like, they're always going to be up there. All right, next is my fringe category. These are the teams that I think aren't quite playoff caliber. So I got my fringe, playoff caliber, and then we'll get our champ game prediction. For the fringe category, I got Michigan. I don't think Michigan is quite as good as people think. I don't know if people are projecting them to be a playoff team. But, a new head coach in Kyle Whittingham, new offense, Jason Beck is there. So you have Bryce Underwood, and you have him under a new offense. He hasn't dominant, he's not like the dominant type of quarterback. So he's under a new offense, and he's Jason Beck. How does he adapt? That's what I want to know. It is a pretty tough schedule. So new offensive system paired with a new head coach, paired with a tough schedule. I just don't think it's going to happen this year. Penn State. I also have Penn State in the fringe category. Similar to Michigan. You have a new head coach in Matt Campbell. The offensive firepower I'm questioning a little bit. I don't think you have the power offensively that I think you need to have in the Big Ten to win the conference or compete or make the playoff. Now, they have a very easy schedule. So that's why they're here. Like, they have a schedule where 9-3 is probably the floor. And I'd say the absolute best of the best season is 11-1. Like, I don't think you're beating USC, but I think you beat Michigan and Washington. So for Penn State, they're definitely in the fringe category. What are my playoff caliber teams in the Big Ten? My playoff caliber teams are Indiana as one of them. Indiana and Curt Cignetti. Curt Cignetti, like, he is going to get Indiana back there. I have so much confidence in that. I know it's a new quarterback. I know it's a new talent roster. And you're not maybe as veteran as you were in years past. I don't care. It's Curt Cignetti, man. It's Curt Cignetti. He's going to produce at Indiana, which is crazy to say right now. But Indiana also, again, they're reloading. So it's going to be a kind of a reload year. I do have confidence in Hoover more than other people. But I don't have quite the confidence in them winning the Big Ten. So that's why I have them as playoff caliber, though. It's also Brian Haynes' defense. We got to remember that. Next is USC. USC is here because Lincoln Riley needs it, man. Lincoln Riley needs this win more than anybody in the Big Ten. He needs this year. He needs it. If he's not a playoff caliber team, what is he? If Lincoln Riley is not a playoff caliber team this year at USC, he will not be at USC. So he kind of needs it. It's Jade Maava year 3. We know what Lincoln Riley has done with year 3 quarterbacks, and I think that he can do it again here. So it's all come down to this, my championship game prediction for the Big Ten. Who is winning the Big Ten according to my prediction? I got Oregon versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. That is my championship game. I think for Oregon, Dan Lanning, similar to Lincoln Riley, needs it, man. He needs it. He needs to get back here, and I think he does. I think Dante Moore's experience pays off for Oregon. I think that's really what sets them above some of these other teams like Indiana and USC, is Dante Moore is going to be more of the experienced route, and he's going to be the guy that's just fine-tuning some things. The wide receiver room looks amazing with Evan Stewart, Decorian Moore. The defense looks elite. All of that, and they're in the Big Ten championship game taking on Ohio State. Ohio State has a lot of talent. They got a lot of talent. Mostly offensively. The brand new defense, I know, brand new offensive coordinator. There's a lot of offensive talent. It's a tough schedule, man. It's a tough schedule. You got to play USC. You got to play Indiana. You got to play Texas. You got to play Iowa. You got to play Oregon. You got to play Michigan. You got to play all those teams. It's a tough schedule. You got to play a lot of them on the road as well. You got to play Indiana, USC, and Texas all on the road. It's tough to envision them going more than being better than 11-1. I had them listed as 10-2. I think they get here. I think they pull off a certain tiebreaker win against USC and Indiana. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But I think they get the wins, and I think they're here in the Big Ten Championship, despite all the newness around the defense and new offensive system. Who do I have winning the Big Ten? Ohio State or Oregon? My Big Ten winner for 2026 is the Oregon Ducks. I have Oregon winning. I think Oregon is going to go 13-0. Call me crazy. I think Oregon's going to go 13-0. We'll see where I have them, in the playoff and how far they go in the playoff. We'll see here in a second. But for me, I see Oregon as the only 13-0 team in college football in 2026. Like that, full stop. Full stop. I see them as the only undefeated team. So that is my full Big Ten breakdown. Again, we will break down the full playoff coming up here very soon. Next is the ACC. Who do I have winning the ACC? Well, first we'll start off with our sneaky teams. Sneaky teams in the ACC consist of Virginia Tech. I think Virginia Tech, with the new energy around the program and the newfound hope with James Franklin, gives me some optimism. The defense has a lot of talent, but all of that consists into one big ball of unknown. I don't really know, so that's why they're a sneaky team. I think they can be a frisky team. I think they can be there to upset some teams. Do I think they're going to win the championship? No. So that's why they're in the sneaky category. Cal. Cal is a very overlooked team. Do not overlook Cal. Just don't do it. They got an improved schedule from 2025, which was brutal. They got an incredible underrated quarterback. Their quarterback is very underrated. I'm going to try my best here. Jaron Kiawe-Sagapolitelli is just an incredible quarterback. And that was a mouthful. So that was hard to say. Jaron Kiawe-Sagapolitelli. There we go. We're going to remember that. I didn't even need paper for that one. He is a phenomenal quarterback. I think he is probably the second best quarterback in the ACC. I don't know if that's a hot take. Well, actually, I'm going to go third. I'm going to go third because the two I have in the championship game, I think, are the two best quarterbacks. But Jaron Kiawe-Sagapolitelli is a top 3 quarterback in the ACC, and don't overlook it. Virginia. Virginia is also going to be a sneaky team in the ACC. I think everyone forgets that Beau Pribula is at Virginia. Don't forget this, man. I know I kind of forgot it, so I started breaking down the ACC, and I'm sitting there Beau Pribula at Virginia? I forgot about that. Yeah, I know, because everyone forgot about it, unless you're a Virginia fan or a Missouri fan. Literally everyone forgot about that. Don't forget about it, man. Beau Pribula and that Virginia team is capable of playing spoiler and pulling off a few upsets. So watch out for Virginia. All right, now I got my fringe teams. These are teams that I think aren't quite ACC championship caliber, but are really close. Really close. SMU. SMU is so capable of making the college football playoff by winning the SEC. They're so if there's a team that's going to give Miami a run for their money in the ACC, I think it's SMU. Do I think they're better than Miami? No, never said that. But I think Kevin Jennings, paired with his amazing head coach Rhett Lashley, are going to be a chemical reaction for success. Kevin Jennings is in his 2800th year. I said that wrong. 28,000th year. He's been there forever. So I think he's going to have the experience, and he's going to get to get close to the championship game. Louisville. Louisville's here because I think Louisville has what it takes. Lincoln Kleinholz is the quarterback there. Jeff Brom, the quarterback whisperer over there at Louisville, I think he's going to whisper some magic in the Lincoln Kleinholz. And that's why I think they're going to be a frisky team. Clemson. I mean, you never know with Dabo Swinney. You really never know. People say this is a rebuild year, reload year, get your things fixed, and let's go back at it next year. You never know with Dabo. I mean, he could go 2-10, and then he could go 10-2. You literally never know with Dabo at Clemson. So don't count them out. And Pitt. Pitt's always frisky, man. Pat Narduzzi puts together a solid football team. They're always a frisky team. They're always a tough out. They're always a team where you look at them and say, I don't know, man. That's going to be a tough one. Is it at Pitt or is it home? Because that's a big difference, too. Going to Pitt in November kind of sucks. So, Pitt's always going to be a tough out. I really butchered that. Who is making my championship game? Who is in my ACC championship game? Obviously, Miami's in there. I have Miami as one of the teams in the ACC championship taking on, let me know if this is a hot take, Miami taking on NC State. I know you might be thinking like, oh, what the heck is he doing? Wyatt, what the heck are you doing? Just calm down before you shut the TV off or go out of the YouTube app and flip the tab away. Just give me a second. Let me explain. CJ Bailey. You might be like, who is that? Who's CJ Bailey? Quarterback at NC State. That guy is a freaking machine. I mean, if you didn't watch him last year, go back and watch the highlights, because I did. I watched him last year. He was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And that guy is coming back with a veteran coaching staff, with a better team than you think, with one of the easiest schedules in the entire ACC. Like, they don't play Miami. They don't play Clemson. They don't play SMU. They avoid all three. And those are the three best teams in the ACC. Avoid all three. And you're telling me NC State, for my money, the second best quarterback in the ACC, one of the best coaching staffs in the ACC, or at least the most veteran coaching staff in the ACC, you're telling me they are not going to at least compete for the championship game? I think you're wrong, and I think SMU is going to be there. Who do I have winning the championship game? It's Miami, man. I think Miami's going to win their first ever ACC championship game. That's just hard to believe. Miami's never won an ACC championship game. Well, I think they're going to do it this year, and I think Miami will be the ACC champion, and I think they will get a first round bye in the college football playoff. That was my ACC conference prediction. Let me know in the comments if you agreed or disagreed. I think you might disagree with the NC State, but man, watch out for that team during the season. Big 12 time. Who is going to be in the conference championship in the Big 12? Well, first, we're going to start off with some fringe teams. I think Baylor. Baylor's a fringe team. They're a sneaky team in the Big 12. I think Baylor's capable of, they have a very capable offense with, DJ Lagway, and I think that they're capable of playing spoiler. I think they have the returning production, the new incoming production to play spoiler with some teams. Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State is like one of those teams where it's like you want to just push them so hard. You want to be like, that's going to be this year's Indiana. But it's like, I don't even want, I forget I ever said that. That was a little harsh. But you're like, this is going to be the team that breaks out and goes 9-3, where you never expected it. I want to say that, but I just don't know. It's Eric Morris, a new head coach. It's North Texas 2.0. Does it work out? I know Drew Messemaker's amazing, and he could throw for 3,000 yards. I just don't know with the entire dynamic of the team if it's going to work. So that's why I'm a little hesitant with them. Arizona State's in the fringe category. I think Arizona State has a sneaky good roster with some upset potential. I think Kenny Dillingham always puts together a really solid roster and a very upset potential roster. So now we can move on to the playoff caliber. These are some teams that I think are, potential to win the Big 12 and obviously make the playoff, but are also like, I just don't think they're going to quite get there. BYU. That could be controversial, and you're probably looking at me saying they're the favorites now that Texas Tech and the whole Brendan Sorsby situation. I understand you, and I grant you that. But I think Bear Bachmeier is not going to be quite as good as you think. I think he's going to be really good, but yes, LJ Martin's there at running back. And, they have an underrated defense. But something inside me says that it's not going to be a rematch Big 12 championship. Something inside me says that. Something inside me says it's not going to be, BYU versus Texas Tech. Something inside me says that, and I'm going to trust my gut here. I'm going with my gut. So BYU won't be in my championship game. Utah. Brand new coaching staff. Devin Dampier does return. There's a bright spot there. It's a good defense. Morgan Scalley as the head coach. There's a lot of things to look up at. There's also a lot of things to be questioning. So I think when I look at this team, this Utah team, I look at them and say a lot of potential, but not enough proven production to put them there. Put them in the championship game. Houston's next. Houston is a big riser for me. I think Willie Fritz is a very underrated head coach, especially when it comes to the Big 12. Connor Wigman is back. I'm excited about what he can do. So overall, Houston has what it takes, and I think that they are probably the third best team, maybe fourth best team in the Big 12. All right, championship game prediction. Who do I have in my Big 12 championship game? Give me Texas Tech versus Arizona, baby. Give me the Wildcats in the championship game. Texas Tech's here. I don't need to explain it. They're the most talented roster in the Big 12. They're strong on both lines of scrimmage. They're probably the most complete team in the Big 12. Like, we don't need to talk about why Texas Tech is there. Man, Arizona, let me tell you this. Noah Fifita, I am so high on Noah Fifita. I think he's going to be the best quarterback in this conference. I think he'll be the best quarterback in the Big 12, along with a veteran defense. Like, the defense is very veteran as well. You got a veteran quarterback, veteran defense. Brent Brennan is a coach that I think is underrated, similar to Willie Fritz. I think he's underrated. I think he's going to have a good year, and I think Arizona reaches the Big 12 championship. But my winner of the Big 12 and heading to the college football playoff is Texas Tech. I don't think that Arizona quite has what it takes to beat Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech goes probably 12-1. Maybe they slip up one place, but I think they win the conference pretty relatively easily, even with Will Hammond and without Brendan Sorsby. And Texas Tech is your 2026 Big 12 champions. Let me know in the comments if you agreed with my Big 12 conference breakdown for 2026. There is my entire conference breakdowns from the Big 12, ACC, SEC, and Big 10. We will get to the entire top 12. I'm going to seed every single spot in the bracket, and then we're going to break down the entire bracket. But before we do that, I wanted to do a Heisman pick. Who is winning the 2026 Heisman according to me? This is the future. I came back from January, and I'm going to tell you who won the Heisman Trophy. So it's the future. If you want to know the future, I'm going to tell you right here. There's 4 finalists in the future Heisman pick. Dante Moore is a finalist. Dante Moore is one of your Heisman finalists. Oregon won the Big 10. He was kind of the centerpiece of the Oregon offense. He had a great year, and I think Dante Moore will be a Heisman finalist in 2026, no doubt. Number 3, wide receiver from the Buckeyes, Jeremiah Smith, becomes a Heisman finalist. Came back from the future. They said wide receiver. Take a guess. I said Jeremiah Smith. They said, yup. Gave me the information, and I came back to the present day. Jeremiah Smith is the best receiver in college football, and I don't think he's going to go 3 years in college and not be a Heisman contender. I just don't see it. I don't see it. So I have him as my third Heisman finalist. Number two, Darian Mensah, quarterback from Miami. They came back from the future. They said Miami won their first ACC championship. They said this will be one of the most elite, if not the most elite offenses, and you're looking at one of the best quarterbacks in the country, Darian Mensah, at Miami. My number 1 and my Heisman winner for 2026. This is the man I think is going to win the Heisman in 2026. John Mateer from Oklahoma, baby. I am getting on the John Mateer bus. I'm getting on the John Mateer hype train, and I am not getting off. I will not abandon this pick. We've been through the highs and the lows, through the betters and the worses. It's not how you say that, but I don't care. I'm saying it. I will be a John Mateer just voter. I will be the John Mateer hype man. I am all in on John Mateer. He looks incredible at the Manning Passing Academy. I think John Mateer is winning the Heisman. There's nothing else I got to say. If you disagree with me, you can't disagree with the future, man. You can't disagree with the future. So let me know in the comments if you agreed with that or disagreed. But hey, as I said, it's never good to disagree with the future. So let me know your Heisman pick in the comments as well. If you want to be a smart man, pick John Mateer because that's what's going to happen. All right, time to seed the college football playoff bracket. It is officially time. 1 through 12. College football playoff prediction time is right now. Starting off with the seeding. coming in at the number 1 spot in the college football playoff, it's the Ducks. Oregon, my Big Ten champion. The Oregon Ducks are the number 1 seed in the college football playoff. And man, first round bye, Dante Moore, Dan Lanning, get it done. Number 2, let's head down south a little bit. No, not quite to, Alabama, not Georgia. Let's go a little further south. Let's go down to Coral Gables. Miami. Miami is my number 2 team in the college football playoff. I think Miami is my probably third. If I had to put my money on, I think Miami's going to go 13-0. Call me crazy. I think Miami's going to go 13-0. I think Oregon and Miami both go undefeated. More likely Miami goes undefeated than Oregon, but Miami, I think, is going to go 13. I think they beat Notre Dame, and I think that's what really sends them into the college football playoff. So give me Miami, number 2 spot. Number 3, let's head north a little bit. Not quite north, not too far, just a little north. Georgia, man. Georgia's my number 3 team in the country. The dogs are barking. I got Georgia there. Gunnar Stockton, I think, is improved, and this is my SEC champion. Remember, we just did, if you're watching the full show, we just predicted each conference. If you're watching the individual video, you can go back and watch that individual video as well. I got Georgia winning the SEC and getting the 3rd seed in the playoff and getting a first-round bye. My last bye team. No, it's not my Big 12 champion. It is the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I got the Irish in C.J. Carr, Marcus Freeman, getting the 4th and final bye seed in the college football playoff and sneaking in there, getting some revenge after last year. Number 5. Some might say this is the best spot in the playoff, and it might be right across town. The Ohio State Buckeyes are your number 5 seed in the college football playoff. I got Ohio State there because I think Ohio State has what it takes to get to the Big Ten championship. I just think they fall a little short to Oregon, and I think they get the 5 seed, though. I'm not dropping them too far. Number 6, my Big 12 champion, the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I think Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12. I think they'll end with a 12-1 record. Maybe 11-2. See what happens in the Big 12, but I think they're going to end with a 12-1 record. Not quite having the strength of schedule to put them above Ohio State and Notre Dame, but they would definitely be a solid contender. Number 7, right across town. You could pick up a rock and throw it and hit the next team. The Texas Longhorns are my number 7 team in the country. Texas, to me, just is the team that's like, they're going to make the SEC championship. I think they fall short, but they're still in an okay spot in the playoff. I think they're going to be fine. They'll make the playoff. They'll probably contend a little bit, be a little frisky. We'll get to the playoff prediction here in a second. But I got Texas at the 7th spot. The 8th spot, the Oklahoma Sooners led by John Mateer. John Mateer, if you haven't seen already, was my Heisman pick. I think John Mateer is going to be the best quarterback in the country, and I think he leads Oklahoma to the 8th spot, back-to-back seasons, at around probably 10-2. Number 9 is the Indiana Hoosiers and Curt Cignetti. They make the playoff for the third year in a row. Sorry about that. 3rd year in a row. Curt Cignetti has been a coach at Indiana for 3 years, made the playoff every single time. Because this is the future. This paper here, it says the future. This says the future. I can't show you. I'll tell you, but I can't show you. This is the future. I got this from I came back from January, and they told me who's winning it all. So this is the future. Curt Cignetti made the playoff 3 times in a row at Indiana. Number 10, USC Trojans. Lincoln Riley gets it done. Give him a clap. Clap it up. Lincoln Riley makes the playoff in 2026 with Jade Mayava and just closes the chapter of his life. The he can't do it turns into he just hasn't done it. He just hasn't done it yet. Lincoln Riley can make the playoff, and I think he will. Number 11, this is our last at-large spot before we get to the G5 team. Some might say OSU. Some might say Alabama. Some might even say BYU. Some might say Arizona. Some might throw in Michigan. I'm going with Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is making the college football playoff again. I think with Trinidad Chambliss coming back, with him being the insane player that he is, I think he's going to have a breakout year. I think Trinidad Chambliss is going to be there in the end. I wanted to put him in my Heisman contender Heisman spot. Couldn't quite do it, though. Couldn't quite do it. I wanted to go with John Mateer. But Ole Miss will be a very good team. And my 12 spot, my G5 auto bid, it's going to the Pac-12 champion. The Pac-12 champion. Oh, it feels good to say. The Boise State Broncos are going to be your 12 seed in the college football playoff. We could take a look at the bracket right now. I have Boise State as the 12 seed. This is how the bracket's looking. Let's get to the matchups. Let's get to the matchups here. Starting off with a beautiful, beautiful first round matchup. We'll start at the top. Texas versus USC. Oh boy, I did not plan this, man. Like, I put together my top 12. I did not plan this. I looked at the bracket and I was like, holy smokes. You got one of the greatest championship games of all time. Of literally all time. Texas, or I think that was, one of the greatest games in college football of all time. I'm not even going to say greatest, just the single greatest game of all time. USC and Texas. I believe that was the Rose Bowl. I believe so. Texas USC, that's 7-8 or 7-10. Winner plays Miami. You got Texas Tech Ole Miss at the bottom right. I think the winner of that game does play Georgia, but I think that's going to be a sneaky good game. Let's go to the top left. Oklahoma versus Indiana. That's the 8-9. Winner takes on Oregon. And then you have the bottom left. Ohio State versus Boise State. Winner takes on Notre Dame. Got some interesting matchups up here. All right, starting in the first round. Oh, I'm nervous. My life has led up to this. Texas versus USC. Let's get it out of the way. Who do I have winning? I got the Longhorns beating the Trojans. It is a home game in Austin, and I think under the crowd, under the pressure, under the lights, Texas gets it done and moves on. Next is Ole Miss versus Texas Tech. I have Ole Miss taking down the Red Raiders. I think Red Raiders have a legit shot, and this will come down to the fourth quarter caliber game, but Ole Miss is just slightly better. I think Ole Miss, I know it's a home game for Texas Tech, and it's in Lubbock, but Ole Miss just has a slightly better overall roster, and I think they get it done. Oklahoma, Indiana. This is a big game. Oklahoma, Indiana. I have the Sooners, the Oklahoma Sooners, beating the Indiana Hoosiers. I know you're look at me and say, well, it's Kurt Cignetti, it's Indiana. I know. I just don't have quite that much confidence in this offense, in Josh Hoover. So with that being said, give me my Heisman winner, John Mateer, to move on. Play Oregon in the second round. Ohio State, Boise State. Do we need to talk too much about this? Not really. Okay, Ohio State wins. No disrespect to Boise State. Ohio State wins. All right, we got the quarterfinal games. Here we go. Oklahoma versus Oregon. Actually, let's start with Texas-Miami. Texas versus Miami. This is going to be a heck of a good game. It was tough. It really was tough, but I'm going to go with Miami to beat Texas. I think Miami gets it done in a four-quarter battle. Miami moves on to the semifinal to take on either Georgia or Ole Miss. Rematch. Georgia-Ole Miss is a rematch of 2025, and I have Georgia getting revenge. Kirby, Gunnar Stockton, they say, Pete Golding and Trinidad Chambliss, you're not doing it again. We are winning this time. So the SEC champions, Georgia Bulldogs, move on to take on Miami. What a matchup that's going to be. Notre Dame versus Ohio State. Who is winning this matchup? It was tough. This was the toughest one for me to pick. I went with the Ohio State Buckeyes for one reason, and that reason is I think their offense overpowers Notre Dame's defense, and I think that their offense scores more than Notre Dame's offense. Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sand, Bo Jackson. It's a little more powerful. So give me Ohio State. In a close, tough game, by the way. Oklahoma, Oregon. I can't tell you how bad I wanted to pick Oklahoma to upset Oregon. I just couldn't get myself to do it. I went with Oregon and the Ducks and Dante Moore and Dan Lanning to beat Brent Venables and John Mateer, my Heisman winner. So, semifinals. Oregon versus Ohio State. Miami versus Georgia. Starting with Miami versus Georgia, who do I have winning? I got Miami going back-to-back national championship game appearances. Give me the Miami Hurricanes to make it to the national championship game for the second year in a row. Mario Cristobal wins the ACC, first time in Miami's history. back-to-back national championship appearances. One of the best offenses in 2026. Give me Miami. Who would they take on in the championship? Ohio State or Oregon. It's a tough battle. It's a tough battle. I really, really had to think about this for a long time. I went with Ohio State. I still am very unsure. I said that and I got goosebumps and I got nervous because I am not confident in that. I'm not confident in that. Like, I wanted to pick Oregon. I wrote Oregon and I erased it. I erased it. And I wrote Ohio State. I don't know how this is going to pan out. I might make a switch and go with Oregon. I don't know. But this is it. Give me Miami versus Ohio State in the national championship. A replay of the game last year in the playoff, in the quarterfinal. Give me your 2026 national champions are the Miami Hurricanes. Mario Cristobal, back-to-back national championship game appearances. It wins the ACC for the first time in program history and wins the national championship. Darian Mensah in that offense, get it done. Corey Heatherman in that defense, get it done. Miami is your 2026 national championships in college football. If you disagree with that, well, I'm sorry, but I came back from the future, and that's what they said. So you can't disagree with the future. Future's the future. So if you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed this season prediction video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you enjoyed this specific video, also make sure you like the video as it helps us out. And if you're listening on podcast, I did hear that if you comment on podcasts on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you're listening to this, even if you comment on YouTube, it pushes the algorithm and makes this video go crazy. So I appreciate you guys for that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys for watching. We will see you guys back here Thursday for another edition of Wyatt Zang's College Football Show, episode 60, coming to you Thursday, by the way. College football season's in full swing. Let's freaking go. See you guys back here Thursday. Hope you guys have a great start to your week, and God bless.